So ladies and gentlemen, you know when I talk about insufferable women ruining man's favorite pastime, not watching football or WWE or UFC, no, I'm talking about video gaming. Well, an old enemy from Gamergate Part 1 has resurfaced. Who is she? Well, let me just take you on over and you can find out for yourself. She's back, and she means business. Yes, it's Anita Snarkeesian.
Flashing through the sky, he's a go-go guy. Stronger than a train with a so-so brain. He's fearless, careless, a little too careless.
Approved by 1970s Robert Redford.
So funny enough, ladies and gentlemen, this video is not entirely about Ms. Sarkeesian today. It's about somebody else that's just as insufferable as she is. But on Anita's Instagram page, she describes herself as Armenian and Iraqi and a feminist media critic and inclusivity reader. Oh joy, let's give her a big round of applause. And on that note, folks, it's time to end the video. I am just kidding, because when we go to her absolutely hilarious website, again, reinforcing the DEI, the ESG, the nonsensical paradigm that permeates video gaming today. Looking to make your video game project more inclusive to a wider audience? Then contact me and I can give you some more details. Absolutely ridiculous. So Devolver, Double Fine, Landfall, Triband, Mega Grit, or Tit in his case, and Ubisoft. Now, as Varadark said on a video earlier on tonight, it's interesting that Miss Sarkeesian will slither out of the woodwork and maybe get herself noticed again, because who knows, with Assassin's Creed around the corner on the 15th of November, is Anita actually going to go out there and gaslight her audience for not accepting Yasuke as a black samurai in feudal 16th century Japan? Quite possibly, but maybe Anita might want to hold her tongue before she gets a severe backlash like she did back in 2014, right? So there's a person on the block who's even worse than her, and her name is Marina Diaz, who hates white men. Because quite clearly, if you look at the complexion of Maria, who at this stage looks like a dwarf who wandered off the set of Time Bandits, or Bum Bandits if you want to call it that, which is now a failed first season project from Taika Waititi. What a big massive shame. But look at this insufferable host of the GDC conference via YouTube in 2023. And yes, that's her standing at the platform, which in this case, it either makes her look like a gigantor woman, or she's very, very tiny, because she does look like a midget in this case. And yes, I am name calling. Yes, it's beneath me, but who cares? Because honestly, when somebody goes on Twitter that makes this post and then they remove it and they think it won't be discovered, well, thank Mark Kern, aka Grums, because he reshared this tweet. It's hilarious. So Marina Diaz wrote on X, I went from thinking I'm a shitty game designer, which clearly you are, love, because you own 3 of Cup Games, a dogshit website by the way, to consult and train teams at one of the biggest games companies in the world. Keep believing in yourself and F white men and gatekeepers. So she's obviously talking about you and me. She added in a subsequent post, not all white men suck, but you know what I mean, my loves. Oh, my loves, I love you so much. What, is she blowing air kisses when she says that? How? What a ridiculous, irresponsible thing to say. Which is funny because Matthew Karch, who made that legendary drop on Asmongold's YouTube channel a few days ago, where he talked about too many problematic things in video games today. It's about imposing moral messages and injecting other nonsense like messaging into a video game which you can't enjoy. And Space Marine 2 is getting this momentic success at the moment. Momentic, is that even a word? I'm leaving it in this video, right? Because people are jealous. Even Kotaku are jealous of Space Marine's success, and they're going after Matthew Karch now, trying to get a comment from Saber Interactive about whether it was really him that dropped those comments on Asmongold's channel. And of course, the person who's going after Saber Interactive is the right-hand woman of Alyssa Mercante called Ethan Gatch, the mustachioed weirdo who you saw in that Games Mess video with Jeff Grubb looking like a right old poor man's cuck. Well, that's him.
Games industry is diverse naturally, not because anyone's making them be diverse, because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically, bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
So Diaz's comments are unsurprising. Her 3 of Cup Games website, which is absolute dog shit, is this screen cap here. Believe it or not, this is what the actual website looks like. We believe that we can help to change the world through video games. We believe in emotions because quite clearly Miss Diaz has none whatsoever. We believe in making games for everyone, all capitalized letters with a 1-inch space in between them. How? Ugh, my goodness me. Diaz has also made a number of posts denigrating white men. In April, Diaz posted, "Growing my abs to crush nuts and obnoxious white men with them." And just taking a look at that photograph right there, I can see that Ms. Diaz has height issues, body issues, is a bit of a vain glory hound where she likes to take pictures all the time of herself because nobody will dare to stand in front of her and take a picture themselves for the fear of being manhandled by her very strong, amazing abs. How terrible is this woman? Less than 2 weeks later, Diaz posted why white men over 40, for being somehow generous, are allergic to saying the word diversity. What time and place does Ms. Diaz come from? Clearly not from this country. In March, Diaz posted my highlight of the year, folks. And we're only in March. I know is Breakin Bya. They made a mistake here with the spelling. Attending the GDC, and I think that was in Tokyo. She's one of these people I admire the most and I respect the most in the industry. And we need people like her to keep the old, and we need more people like her to kick the old white privilege asses out of there. Again, when I read this dialogue, it's women who want to take over video gaming, right? That's what it is, pure and simple. Who is Breakin Bya, you may ask? It's this chick right here. I mean, look at the awful engagement on his video, right? This is from 2018. Game Devs of Color Expo, and by the way, color is spelled incorrectly, should have a U in it. I'm going to subscribe to this actually because it looks god awful. I'm going to give it a dislike. And this is what the Brihaha chick looks like. Oh, a professional talk by a real game developer who is a professional and certainly not an alien. Does she mean illegal or actually from outer space? From the planet Uranus?
No, it's a bomb. Dance, I write poems, I have a very bad posture, and then I'm in a band conceptually, you know, like in my head. And yeah,
because
I
everything
teach
else is
a
in her
lot.
fucking
I
head,
teach
isn't it?
physics and I teach game design that assigns people of color to different residential and business.
So basically, Miss Briaha is born and raised in Johannesburg, South Africa. So obviously that country has a very bad history of racism where it concerns oppression, right? But in this 5-minute speech, or more than that actually, almost 10 minutes.
So I want to Going back to my talk, I want to speak about the repression and denial of the black or brown body. Basically, what happened during apartheid still has long-lasting effects. I mentioned it only ended 24 years ago, so the legacy of apartheid is still there, and it's strong, and it's everywhere.
Well, of course, the legacy of racism will always be there after it's all been demolished, apparently, because that's the way it works, right? But of course, when somebody like Miss Marina Diaz says, we need to look up to somebody like Breakin Bya to be our mentor, our savior, to get rid of middle-aged white men off the gaming circuits. Oh, that's a great message to be sending out there. Why are people supporting morons like this woman like here, who again, every time I look at her, I see someone with dwarf syndrome. There's a phrase called SMS, short man syndrome. Well, this is the version of that, except it's a female with no titties whatsoever. So you keep talking, love. You spend time in your echo chamber. Just say how bad white men are, because I wonder if other men of color stepped forward and they were toxic and vitriolic towards Miss Diaz. Would she feel the same way about them too? Or is she just singling out white men because apparently they are some of the people, along with white women, who helped to shape and form the video games we know and love today? But it's so ridiculous. This whole concept this narrative is absolutely terrible and should not be embraced in any way. But when it comes to people like me who find this absolutely hysterical, well, I'm going to make money off it. Monetize the hell out of cringe narrative, folks. I implore you and I encourage you to do that. It's not about preaching hate. It's just sitting back and laughing at these suckers, to quote Mr. T, because that's exactly what they are. And if you were me, and if I were you, you might want to return for the next episode of my brand new video.
So, like most people who grew up immersed in the neoliberal ideology of the West, I saw the world largely as a series of individuals making...
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Play with a friend or play with yourself. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Tecmo. 100% games.
For hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.